All right, so starting off the tour here in the garage because we've got both my kilns are running, so I just thought that was fun. So I'm running a few pieces of pottery here in the big kiln for my glazed firing, and then over here is my little kiln, and I have a couple of things that I am bisque firing in there. So we are cooking today in the garage. So I'm going to jump outside, as you can see. So I wanted to talk today a little bit about perennials that I have planted new this year. So starting kind of back here, this is not a new perennial, but this is going to be a space where I can plant something new because it looks like the bindweed has taken over whatever shrub was here, which I didn't really particularly like anyway. So we have a new opportunity. And so I don't know if you can see it, but if I look this way, like my neighbors have this beautiful sunflower alley going. So maybe next year I'll just try to put some sunflowers in this spot. But anyway, that's an area for improvement. And we'll jump into the veggie garden right here. The time of year has come where I am trying to start pulling some things out. So this bed, which is where the pumpkins and my Kajari melon have been pulled out. But as you can see, we still have got cherry tomatoes going. I've got some peppers back here. Maybe we can see the yellow. I don't know if you can see the yellow peppers. Yeah, so they're super hot. Don't know what I'm gonna do with them, but you know, I'll figure out something. So we still got the tomatoes going here, and I'm actually gonna show you that they're growing over the fence, and still getting some zucchinis. And even though these cucumbers really look sad, they are still producing. In fact, I've got, a couple good cucumbers come in every couple of days. See if I can get this one out. So there's two just today. And then I still have my potted tomatoes, and I've been loving this tomato bush here. And as you can see, I still have several that are ripening. And over here you can see that I have already pulled out the melons that were here, the acorn squash. I've still got the strawberries, but I just wasn't really happy with them. They very much got eaten up by the Japanese beetles, and all the strawberries they produced were actually really, really small. So I am maybe gonna pull them out altogether. I don't know if I'm gonna keep these in here. And then basil is doing good, as most of the Japanese beetles have subsided. So that's doing great, and the rest of the herbs here are doing good as well. All right, so we are going to pop out into the front yard. So say goodbye to Wrigley. Okay, so I popped over here to show you this crazy tomato plant, which, as you can see, has grown up over the fence and is now nearly touching the ground. And so inside here still have lots of cherry tomatoes that I can harvest. So that is pretty much the biggest cherry tomato plant that I think I've ever grown. But anyway, so talking about the perennials and things that I planted this year, this plant right here, I just planted in the spring, and this is a Fall in Love Sweetly, is what the plant is called. And so it seems to be happy in this spot, and so I like that. And next to it is a catmint, and that is a plant that I actually started from seed this spring. So this one is doing fantastic. As we come along here, you will see weeds. So still working on this area. I planted this sage plant and this other sage plant. Those two sage plants I started from seeds, and hopefully those will be new perennials. I'm really trying to fill up this area with perennials. Here's another little catmint, but that one did not do nearly as good. I think that I sprayed it with weed killer, which yeah, isn't good. So hopefully someday I'll kind of get perennials that grow all the way along this part of the fence. We will see. So walking around, here are my new boxwoods. And so this spring I dug up ornamental grass. That was basically, there were probably 5 ornamental grass right here, and I planted these boxwoods, and one of them was in a bigger pot to start with, but they all seem to be hanging in there so far. So that's really good. And then coming around here, I planted this new sage plant this spring. And then I dug up, when Mom was here, 5 different bushes, and I planted rose bushes in this area. So there, I'll try to walk through here. So we've got like a white rose here. This one is a Proven Winners rose. It's supposed to be kind of big and shrubby, but it's I don't think it got as much sun. The Russian sage right here was crowding it out a little bit, so I just trimmed those back. Hopefully it'll take off a little bit. Here is another rose bush, and this one is another Proven Winners. And then here's the second red rose bush. And that one is done better in terms of putting on some size. And then over here is another white rose bush. So that is that. And then finally, down here is where I had just put in some lavender. So again, there were 5 different large ornamental grasses. So I dug those up last weekend and planted these lavender. I'm gonna try to get down. Yeah, kind of hard to see them. We will see if they make it to the spring. That is my hope. And then I also planted this plant right here. I know the name is skipping out of my head, but that is a brand new perennial as well. And so I think there's one more thing I wanted to show you. So we're walking up onto the porch, and over here is just my crazy shade plants. So these have just kind of gone nuts. We've got coleus. As you can see, it's trailing to the ground. There's this pretty lime plant in there. Got a couple more kinds of coleus, and there's actually a begonia over here as well. Pretty yellow begonia. So those shades plants, I'll try to keep these for as long as the weather holds up. I'll try to keep those, but so I think that's my September tour. So hope you guys are doing good. Take care.